Okay, phases of a water rescue. 4 phases, and you'll see this for just about all technical rescues, is these phases. So size up, phase 1, getting on scene, witnesses, finding a witness or witnesses, where's the point last seen, where's the victim, how many victims are there, what are the hazards, is the water cold, is the water rising, is the water lowering, what's the weather doing. So this size up during that process is, do I need a water rescue team dispatched during phase 1? Get that going if you think you need it, or you might need it. Get ordered in Broad River. That's going to take, 30-40 minutes for a team to get there. So identify that during that size up phase and order it. Phase 2, the pre-rescue. So get a safety officer. If you got enough personnel there, then the IC can designate a safety officer. Get a team responding to the opposite bank if that's not already done. That may mean another department, depending on the site. PPE. Get all your rescuers wearing PPE, helmet, PFD, no structural turnout gear, nobody within 10 feet of the water without PPE. Identify your downstream safeties, or the ones that have throw bags. Identify upstream safety, that's watching for hazards coming down the water that can interrupt your rescue out. So during this phase, you're getting your plan together, your IAP. How are we going to do this? Also during this is get your PPE together for the victim. Okay, rescue ops. Basically that's whatever plan you came up with based off your size up, your pre-rescue. You're gonna execute your action plan there. So make contact with the victim, get the PPE on the victim, remove the victim from the hazard, and transfer them to a higher level of care if it's needed. Termination. This is basically once the rescue operation is completed, do we have everybody accounted for? Don't release resources until we know everybody's clear of the hazard area. It's going to include equipment and personnel. So get that PAR, get that personnel accountability report from all resources. And I missed it, but during the size up, identify, is this a rescue or a recovery? We don't need a bunch of resources coming if it's a recovery immediately, especially if there's wide scale flooding going on in our area. So identify that during the size up. Is it a rescue or is it a recovery? Okay. Okay, definitions. Let's get that off of here. Okay, this right here is a stream or a river. The arrows are pointing downstream, so the water is running in this direction. Okay, so if I am looking downstream, the right bank, the right side of this water is called river right. If I'm looking on the left, it's river left. Okay, looking downstream. If I'm looking upstream, this is still river left, river right. So just keep that in mind. You got to be looking downstream, right side. Downstream, left side. If there's anything in the water that is screening or straining the water, so it allows water to go by, but it's catching stuff like a tree in the water, that is called a strainer. If you have, let's say you have a large boulder here and the water is going around this and then it calms down, it's calm water right here, this is an eddy. Okay, that's a good place to set up a rescue rope bag throw. You can get somebody to swing in here and escape. So strainer, eddy. Remember, downstream, river right, downstream, river left. Okay, so levels of risk in how you perform a water rescue. You may see this list a little bit different if you go through any rescue training, but this is the one I use. So levels of risk from lowest to highest. So your first method should be the talk method to your victim. If you can talk them through rescuing themselves, that is the least risk to any of our rescuers. Okay? Situation dependent on how that would occur. Reach. So that is just simply reaching out with equipment like a pike pole, an inflated fire hose with air, a ladder, reaching out with your arm, using something to reach out to them. The third is throw, and that is, getting a rope throw bag, water rescue throw bag out to them, or just getting a flotation device out to them, throwing it out to them. Wade, that means just wading into the water, and I would break that up into two things. Wade to get close enough to throw or reach, and then wade to the victim. So if you can, just wade far enough to get close enough to throw or reach. Using a helicopter, not going to go into that, but that would be the next level of risk. That could be the last method, depending on the weather and terrain you're dealing with there. That could be very dangerous. Okay, row. That means taking a boat out to the victim. That could be powered, or it could be, you could be manually rowing the boat. The highest amount of risk is putting a strong swimmer, trained strong swimmer with all the proper PPE on, and they swim out to the victim. That is usually a tethered swim by a trained swimmer.